Welcome in everybody to the second episode of the Built for Business podcast. I'm your host, Tony Cutillo, and every business, as we know, has a story. And today we're diving into one that's built on consistency, creativity, and resilience. Daisy Pietri, full-time realtor, content creator, I know she loves that, wife and mom, and someone who's figured out how to stand out in one of the most competitive industries out there. The episode is built on building a real estate business that lasts through market shifts, tough clients, and real life balance. Daisy, number one, thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Before real estate, what made you say, I'm going all in this lane?
Yes. So I was looking for something. I did not want to be, I didn't want to have to report to a boss. I wanted and was looking for flexibility. And I just kept praying on it. And literally I got a phone call, and on the other line, it was a friend, and she asked me if I had ever considered real estate. And I said, you know what, let me have this discussion with my husband. I said, because you're onto something. And I literally was like, it's it. This is it. I'm going to go all in. And I asked my husband, I said, I'm going to need your support, because I'm going all in. Like, there's no like half in, half out. And, I said, let's do it.
That's a good point. Cause I think one of the misconceptions, cause I dove into it for a little bit too. I really don't think you can be a part-time real estate agent. I mean, I'm not.
It's hard,
right? I just think that it's almost like a car salesman. Like, if you're going to sell, that you need to be married to the business.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, so it's funny that you say this, because I was just having this conversation with someone today where, like, there's realtors out there that kind of have this as their hobby, as their like side gig, their side hustle. And listen, if they can do that and manage that, by all means, like, more power to you. However, that to me that's a hobby, right? This is my full-time job. This is my career. This is how I feed my family. This is my rice and beans. So that is, it's when you open a business, I wanted to have a successful business. So it was going to take all of everything that I had to do that.
And real estate is a business.
Mm-hmm.
You are essentially, you're running your own, even though you're for Keller Williams, right?
Yes.
But it's still technically, you're still a zero agent. Like,
you're
like
self-employed.
Right.
You're
Yes.
self-employed. So every morning when you wake up, that rent is due.
Yeah.
So you are like, you have no one coming to save you. And it's a storefront. And you mentioned that before. It's, I show up every day because the store's open.
Yep. Yeah. And it really never closes.
Mm-mm.
You're always learning. You're always searching.
Mm-hmm.
Leads come in. You're always finding leads. Different market shifts, which we're going to get into that later. And just before we even go in, it's funny because you remember, what was it? Probably when we first met, I did a quick one of your mastermind sessions.
Yeah.
And this first time I met you, I was like, and you were just like a ray of sunshine. Like, you were like, you were so much energy. And I was like, okay. I said, she's got it. But so I was like, she's got it. Like, I could tell. And I at that time, just thinking about, what's changed from then to now, just in the market, in life, right? I mean, so much. And we talked, and it was like, back then you were doing a coffee with Daisy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember. And that's when we'll get into content pretty soon, because I called you the content queen. You're like the real estate content queen. Listen,
I feel honored.
I'm telling you, man, like, tell Javier that he's with a queen of real estate, right?
Did you hear that, Javier?
Yeah. I love it. So let me ask you this. Your first 6 to 12 months, if you can remember back, what did real estate look like for your first year?
So I remember I got licensed in April. And I knew right away I was going to hang it my license at Keller Williams, because there were trainings. Like, I just felt very comfortable in going that route, in helping with my success. And it was April. I knew that, I need a business. And I was like, I'm going to try everything and anything to, get business. I don't know where it's going to come from, but I'm going to go out there and get it. So I started hosting open houses, literally Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday was my whole, like, it was April, May, June, all of that spring, summer, hosting open houses every single weekend. I told my family, I said, we're not going to be doing anything this summer because I just started, a business and I need to really focus on that. And I did open houses. I door knocked. I sent out mailers, and then I got my first transaction at an open house.
Okay.
It was 6 months into the business.
Okay.
And clueless, right? I had no idea what I was doing. And I went under contract with the clients that came into the open house with that home that I was hosting.
Okay.
And he was an attorney.
Oh, wow.
Little did he know that it was my first.
I was going to say, so he was probably a stickler.
Oh my gosh.
Of course you get a law person for your first.
Exactly. It was like, God was like, you know what? I'm going to test you. Like, you really want this?
Oh my Lord.
And I was like, you know what? If I handled an attorney that was like, and then I listed his house.
Oh, wow.
So he said, I'm going to try to sell it on my own. Said, perfect. Great idea. I'll help you in whatever you need. And he had it listed for a couple months. It didn't sell. And he was like, I want you to sell it for me. And it was out. And like, I mean, I don't like to really, Keller Williams is an open book and we talk numbers and everything, but like, I've had never seen a check like that amount.
So is that the moment you're like, wow, this could actually work?
I was like, wow, all of this hard work. All of this hard work. And this is, and that just gave me like more like fire. I was like, oh my God, how? And that first year, like I did really, I had never ever made what I made that first year ever in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it puts everything in perspective because like you said, you're telling your family, we're not going to really do nothing this summer.
Yeah.
And you got younger kids.
Yeah.
It's not like they're older, right? Like right now, I can tell my kids, they're like, yeah, all right, Dad, whatever.
Like whatever.
I'm going out senior week with my boys and I'm doing this, right? But when you have younger children, they don't understand that. But that's see that. So looking at that, I mean, obviously, I was going to say, did you have a strategy? It sounds like your strategy was like kind of just take everything that can come at me, right? At that time, and people in business need to talk about that. But what would you say separated you from other agents in maybe your first couple years at that time?
I didn't limit myself to anything. I was out there like anything that I can get my hands on to learn, trainings. I was doing it. I was in the office from 9 to 3 every single day, just learning, walking, listening to the other agents, the seasoned agents, like just surrounding myself. I wanted for them to get to know me because that's where I was getting my open houses. So just really like being in the marketplace, like nonstop, really helped amplify my business 100%.
It's funny. So, you do. And I say this, I can be a little biased because, I thought about it for a moment and, I learned through Keller Williams, like all the trainings and the classes and I searched around and it felt like they were like the only ones that offered so much. But that also said to me, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. This is a lot. Like, it was a lot more than I was expecting. It really was. I never thought it was easy, but I was like, wow, God damn, like this is a lot. Like I already went to college. Like I didn't want to go to school again. And it was like, you need that education. Right. And mean, like you said, it's like you are, married to the business. Now, what would you say maybe some of your early mistakes that you made early on?
I wouldn't necessarily say like a mistake.
Okay. Maybe a different direction.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a mistake there,
or maybe we could rephrase that because maybe it seems like, and tell me if I'm wrong, that really there's really no mistakes you really make because you're trying everything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
what could work, how to, that seems like what it feels like to me.
And I'm a very firm believer of everything is figure outable. Like there's nothing that we cannot figure out.
Yep.
So I don't, to answer that question, I'm sorry, I don't know.
No,
Like,
no, but it kind of makes sense, right? It's like it almost seems like a business where you're learning through. It doesn't necessarily have to be mistakes, but you could be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I could have done this differently this way. It still worked out,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I would have been more efficient if I did this.
yeah.
Now, you're right, something like that.
Now you kind of, now you
Okay,
speaking
okay,
now. I would say that the first couple years, so I've been licensed now for 8 years.
okay,
I'm in my 8th year. The first couple years, I want to say maybe like the first 3 years, I was doing good, but I wasn't treating it like a business.
okay.
That was my first mistake.
And I think a lot of people could probably side with real estate or not,
Hmm.
right? Because you're not really. It's like when people say you give yourself a paycheck, right? It's like how, like
Yeah.
everything's a paycheck,
Right.
isn't it?
Right. It's like, yeah,
Like,
commission. Hello.
yeah, everything's a paycheck. Taxes. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is all my money.
Exactly. Like I worked hard for this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I could definitely see that. Yeah.
And
So, yep.
I yeah, that's the first thing. Like I wasn't treating it as a business. I mean, it was my business, but it wasn't like a showing up 9 to 5 type thing. It was just like I'll show up when, when I feel like,
Yep. Yep.
kind of even though I was showing up every day, but I wasn't showing up as,
You
the years go on.
you
And
might not have been fully mentally there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You were like half. You're there, but doesn't mean you're really all in that
Yeah.
on that day,
Right.
right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
I totally and again, the real estate business is so volatile,
Hmm.
right? I mean, I see it, and I'm not even in it, right? So what would you say has been your toughest stretch in real estate
Hmm.
in your 8 years? Maybe like a moment in time. Was it like the COVID era? Is it the boom? Is it when everything fell out? Like, there's been so many different areas.
Yeah. For me, it was 2020.
Okay. Was that COVID?
Hmm.
Okay.
It was 2020. It was also the year that I lost my mom.
Mm.
And it was like I literally my business like shut down. And I was just like, I saw the numbers like at the end of the year. I was like, it literally I was like, wow, like this is all I made.
Right.
How did I even survive on this?
Right. You think about it, right? Oh, yeah. Right.
So that was like the toughest year. Yeah.
I think that's what people don't realize, that when you are a self-employed, because technically you are a business owner,
Hmm.
right? When life happens,
Oh.
the job can't stop. But when it does, guess what all stops? The
Hmm.
paychecks.
Hmm.
It's not like, hey, I'm gonna go out sit for 3 weeks and that
Yeah.
check keeps coming in.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I do think there's you take the good with the bad, right?
Right.
You do. There's pros and cons to everything, but that I think, that's one of the biggest things. Now, during that time, was there ever a moment you thought about quitting?
So funny you asked, because when I went into real estate, I said I'm gonna give myself 5 years.
Okay.
I'm gonna give myself I don't
5-year
know where I
plan.
got 5 years. I was
Yeah,
like,
well, everybody says 5-year plan, right?
is that what it is?
Yeah,
That's where
there
it
you
came
go.
from. And I was like, I'm gonna give myself 5 years. And in 5 years, if I don't see any kind of progress, if I don't, I'm out. Like, so to answer your question, there was never I kind of feel like sometimes every other day I'm like, oh my gosh, like really? But it's provided me and my family such a beautiful life, and to see the reward that I get to see with other families, like that to me is so priceless, that it's I it's my part of my life,
Yep,
so like
yep.
I don't really like I don't have thoughts like that.
No,
Like I said, I might
I like
have
that.
days where I'm like,
It's a struggle. It's tough.
it's hard, but it's also a business. It's my business, and I get to run it whichever way I'd like. So, to answer your question, yeah, there really was never. a time. I
And
said 5 years.
the only person that you can get mad at is yourself.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, I learned that. A good friend of mine, who I won't name, but he said to me probably about, so when I decided to leave corporate America and go all in, it was, I was 43. So it was going on 5 years. And when I had a conversation with him, he kind of was like my business mentor. He was like, Tony, can I tell you something? I said, what's that? He goes, you can't work for anybody. So what do you mean? He's like, not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but I think you're made to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, because you're just so passionate and everything that you do. He's like, you're going to butt heads, but not in a bad way, like in a good way, because you're going to see and you're going to run into businesses that they don't see that, and you're going to get frustrated. And he's like, I can tell you right now that you need to work for you. And I can tell you what, he's right, because over my years, that's all I ever did was butt heads, but not in a bad way, because I'm like, I know this could be so much better. And this could, and now it's like, okay, if it is, then go do it.
Exactly.
Right. You say to yourself, this would be better. I need to go out and I need to get hungrier. Right. So what do you think people do not understand about the real estate business? That's like a loaded question.
How much time do we have?
Like if you can name a couple things that people don't understand, but real fast though, I want to get back to one thing, because I think it's so important. You said, because I think this is underrated. I know everybody talks about money, and I've seen your posts and a lot of colleagues too. Sharon Little, I got to give her a shout out because she's always helped me through. She's another one. And just, you guys really are invested in the family aspect. Like I could tell it makes you happy to be able to place a family. Listen, yes, it's a business. Like for everybody out there, yes, they do make money. Everybody has to make money. Like, come on, at the end of the day,
eat.
Right? Yes. But when you can separate that for a minute and be like, look how happy that family, I can tell that you get that. And I can tell that Sharon does that. So it was cool that you mentioned that. So what would you think people don't understand about the business?
A lot. Seriously, a lot. Like, because a lot of the times you're seeing what, like the happy times, you're seeing from the post, or you're not seeing the behind the scenes.
BTS.
Yes. And I try to be very, like, I try to share a lot behind the scenes so that people really like get it, because if not, unless you're in it, you're not going to get it.
Yep.
And there's a lot that's involved. There's a lot of, that's trying to put the puzzle together. And there's times that like I'll go through something and I won't even let my clients know, because they're already stressed out as it is. Like moving is so stressful. Maybe remember. They've had like a really, tough transaction and they can't get hit with more. Like, so sometimes like I literally just step back and just brainstorm with whoever I need to brainstorm with before we, like, if we need, more hands in the pod because, the fire is too big, then I will let my clients know, like, hey, listen, this is what's going on. Like, but I don't even try. If I can avoid letting them know, then yeah.
It's one of those things, and I always say I'll only move once, like I just to go through it. And I remember and I remember just the lead up as I'll be the client. And I remember my mother-in-law, rest in peace, who was my realtor at that time, be like, you can't do that. You can't spend this. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't. And I'm like, why? She's like, you just don't get, like, she's like, don't do anything. And I remember how stressful it was sitting at that table. Was the wire transfer going to go through? Did the appraisal go through? Did this happen? And my mind, what I would say to you is how nerve-wracking, because I feel like the deal can fall apart at any time, even that day, correct?
A blink of an eye, even the day of the walkthrough, like it can definitely, like,
it's crazy.
Go south literally within minutes.
That's enough to make you nuts. Like,
and then you did all that hard work,
no paper,
and none, zero.
Yep.
Not unless everyone is happy, you don't get paid.
That you have to be cut out for that. Yes.
You're working for free for months at it sometimes.
Yep.
And nothing is not guaranteed. Like Javier will be like, oh, the house is sold. I'm like, no, we're pending. Sold means that I'm getting paid. Like right now, it just went under contract. So we have to wait 45, days. Like,
wow. So I didn't know that.
Well, anywhere from 30, your traditional, like 30.
Okay.
But 45 days, sometimes I've had 60.
Wow.
Yeah. 90, depending on different situations.
That's a major life change.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking off air. People were talking about maybe quitting their full-time job and just going full into real estate. And and I'm thinking about that. Like, if you're not you could probably go 6 months without seeing a dime.
Oh, mm-hmm.
That's a different way of life.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not ready for that, you're not gonna last.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
Unless you're doing like rentals. Rentals are like, right away thing, kind of like, but
do most agents probably can't do that right in the beginning, correct? I mean, if you're like a new agent.
I mean, if you're a new agent, you can do anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if there was limitations. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
That I just think now, like, especially in today's world where a lot of people live in paycheck to paycheck, it's like, what would you do for 6 months if you're like, I don't know. That's why I commend you guys for what you do. And I know 8 years, so you've been through it, you've seen it. But listen, anybody out there listening, before you get in, like, just
always have
expectations. That's all.
Yes, absolutely. Expectations and just being proactive too, because like you don't know what it's gonna. I mean, I've seen people come in and out of the business. Like, they literally pass the test one try, and they're in real estate. I went multiple times to pass the test.
I took it once and failed it. I'm being straight up.
Oh, I took it 1, 2,
and I never took it again. I was just like,
done.
Screw it, I'm done. Like,
it's not meant to
actually
be.
I could, like, it's so funny. I looked because I think it was saying that my I can't believe, it was November 2021 when I took the class.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I actually have till May 16th if I actually wanted to try to do it. Yeah. And I actually thought about it. I was like, just for the hell of it, I should just take the test and see what happens. Like, I'm going to go in there and just be like A, C, C. But it's so true. Like, I remember cramming for that test. And I was like, this is one of the hardest tests I've ever taken.
Oh, it's hard.
And everything, and the way they answer the questions, it's like they answer the questions 4 times in a different way. And I'm like, it really plays with your emotions, man.
I have to give I would have to give myself a pep talk.
Oh,
going in, I'm like, God. Daisy, don't let this testing, trick you, because that's what it does. It tricks you. And it's like you're looking at the questions and the question, and then you look at the answer and you're like, wait a second, because there's 2 correct answers here. Which one's yeah.
It's
so
it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's I mean, but it
prepares you. Yes. So it's like, if you can really do this, it kind of like sets you up. But having reserves, like if it's something that you're thinking about getting into, having reserves so that sometimes I'm hearing it's taking even longer for newer agents to.
I've heard, I've talked to a couple of people, it's been over a year.
Yeah.
And I guess it all depends what way you get into the market, right? What time you get into the market. Could be a bad market, could be, who knows, right?
I always say that. So I got in, it was 2018.
Okay.
And it took me 6 months to go under contract, but also to like, what are their activities? Right. So that was always like, and I don't know who these,
right.
If they have a part-time job, if they're doing this full time. So like, I was like, I'm getting something is sticking. Something is sticking.
You get determined, man. Like you do, like, and I've learned that through myself. It's like, sometimes you got to face a little adversity to really see what you're really built about. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, can I, and I just say to myself, like, I've had issues where, listen, when I left my full-time job, it was like, I could have a bunch of clients and all of a sudden I have no clients. It's like, okay, so what am I doing? Am I chasing this? Do I do this? And then sometimes you do fall in like a little bit of a free fall. You're like, you start questioning again, even though I've been doing it for so long, but I'm like, do I really want to keep doing this? Like, it's not easy. It's not easy. And you mentioned this, you got a great support staff at home with your husband. I got one with my wife. It's like, if I did not have that, forget it.
Yeah. My husband would say, because I would, in the beginning, I'm like, something's got to stick. Something's got to stick. And I remember my husband, Javier, always saying to me, he's like, I got you. Like, don't worry, I got you. And I'm like, but I don't want you to keep saying that. Like,
exactly.
I really appreciate that. But I want to be one day like, I got you,
Yes.
So like, I need to build that. I need to work, towards that. So he's definitely, my kids, my youngest, she would go to open houses with me, like, and she's still like, now I drag my husband, I drag Javier with me, but like she's still involved. Like, she was awesome. 4 maybe, so like, yeah,
that's awesome. I see that. We're gonna get to some of those videos.
I'm
that's
like,
great.
You know what? Everybody's involved.
You know what though? It kind of,
it's a family thing.
Yes, it brings you together. It doesn't, and I say that all the time, like, it doesn't always have to be going to a party or the movies or out to dinner. You can do things together that just you guys being together is what matters. You know what I mean? So no, that's huge. Now, again, it's up to you. But nobody in particular, but everybody talks about bad clients. You get, not necessarily, let's say, difficult clients. Have you ever had to walk away from a client?
So I'm at the point in my business that, like, you can't, how can I explain it? You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And I not necessarily walk away from clients, but I really protect my, my boundaries and my peace and my family. So like, if I know that there's going to be something that, like, because I interview all my clients.
Love it. Yep. You have to.
I mean, I love them all. Don't get me wrong, but I will ask for help. I'll bring in another agent and just kind of like help us out here, because, so yeah, there's been times that I've had to kind of bring in help.
I get it. I love that you say interview your clients, because I do the same thing. Like, there'll be people reach out and I'll have a Zoom and I'll get off the phone and my wife, but what do you think? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is going to be really difficult. Like, I feel like their expectations are not realistic. And I could be the best person in the world. Doesn't matter. If they have this expectation, it doesn't matter who I am. I'm not going to make them happy.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I'm just not going to make them happy. Yeah. So if I get to that point to where, and I say, listen, I would love to work with you. However, I'm just letting you know that your expectations aren't realistic. If they can't, I'm like, well, then look, you know what? I wish you luck, find somebody. And then I will be honest. I've had a few, they go do that. And then 3 months later, they come back. They're like, I think you were right. Yeah. That's okay. Like, it sucks that you had to find out that way.
Exactly.
But, it is true. Now, work-life balance. I know it's a cliche, right? I get it. And there's no easy way, but I'm telling you this not because, you're my friend and you're here, but you are a rock star with this. Okay. I told you that before. But no. I watch like everything that you do. Like, it's a really cool thing from a realtor, a mom, a wife, a business owner. How do you manage being always in real estate and still being present at home? Have you ever had to check yourself and be like, I need home?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like, I definitely, so there's my calendar. I live by my calendar.
Okay.
Like, I
can imagine.
Literally, like, I was just telling Javier the other day, I was like, we need to sync our calendars.
Charles said that to me. It just never works.
And he got so like, he's like, wait,
yeah,
what are we doing? What, like, and so I have to gradually kind of like wheel him in for that, because he'll be like, what are we doing? Such and what do you have going on here? Like, and now the spring market is here. So I like all over the place.
Yep.
And what I love about, like I said, I include my family in everything. Like, I'll bring my husband to, things, Lily, like, so that they can see, like, be a part of it too, because I don't want to separate the two. Which, I mean, you do what you have to do, right. But like, my mornings are my, like, That's how I get my time, and I just kind of analyze the day. Actually, Lily and I have a date tomorrow, just her and I.
Okay.
She planned that. So I love it that she's definitely like, she's like, all right, mom, this is what we're doing this day. Are
Oh,
you
nice.
available? She'll be like, are you available? Yeah. She's like, what does your schedule look like? This day can, so not that like if I'm available, but she's like, what does your day look like? Can
She
we
knows
do
what your
this?
life
Like,
looks
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yep.
So and then like Javier and I were like right before like bed or something, we'll watch a show. So that's like our time, even though
Yep.
he's like, you're always on your phone.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean,
Yep.
I'm here. So
Right.
like,
Yep.
so just being, present in those things and planning out like vacations and just trying the best I can at the end of the day. Like,
Listen, we're never going to be perfect. But I always say that we're never, but it's the effort.
right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Gauge me on my effort.
Exactly.
I say that all the time, like gauge us on our effort, because now you
100%.
right.
I love that.
You talked about earlier with clients' boundaries. Now, what would you say? What boundaries, if any, have you had to create when you talk about kind of like work-life balance?
Yeah, for sure. So like if I'm with my family, unless we're like negotiating a deal, like if I'm with my family, I'm with my family. So it's like I, put my phone away, and be present that way. um, and then what was the question?
Just your actual boundaries. Like,
boundaries,
yeah.
And then with clients, I'll let them know, like, when we have our consultation, like from this time to this time, I keep my phone on do not disturb.
Love that.
Like that's definite, you can text me, you can email me, you can do all the things, but I have, I let them know what time. But again, unless we're negotiating a deal, I'm up to midnight, whatever I have to do, right?
Right.
So I give myself time. Like I,
You need it. You need that. I like how you do give the client, because not a lot of people do that. Because if you don't do that, they will indirectly, I'm not saying they direct, but indirectly they're going to take advantage of, because they're just like, well, she's working for me.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And that's where like I really have to like, I am working for you, but I also have a life outside. I
Yes.
have to like make dinner for my family. Like I have to do, the things. So I, let them know. Yeah.
I think that probably is one of the hardest things I've always struggled with.
And also too, that sometimes, realtors will be like, I work 24/7. But do you really work 24/7?
Right.
Like we're not, it's like it's not a do or die situation here. Like, it's
Exactly.
not brain surgery.
Exactly.
So like there's a quote and I can't think of it right now, but it's like others are going to treat you. There's something, it's like I forget how it goes. I'll remember. Well,
You'll remember in a couple days.
But it's like others are going to treat you the way you set the expectation too. Like you have to set the expectation. And I tell my clients, for me, to get energized and to do all the things, like I need time. Like I can't answer your call every single time you call me. Like I said, this is not it's not brain surgery.
Yes.
Unless we're like in the middle of a deal, of course.
Right. Because everything's time stamped.
But when you're, wanting to, right, exactly. But I say you're never gonna miss seeing at home, because I'll make sure you take, I take care of that. But yeah, you definitely have to set expectations. And the other thing that I learned too, that I'm still learning every day, is also to understanding the other person's characteristics and how they, are wired, kind of like, right?
Yep.
Because coming to it in that, like, then I understand a little bit better how they want to, how they want to receive, like how they want the communication to be, how they like. So I like to,
you kind of play like, investigator.
Right.
Absolutely. And you're kind of like, okay, I need to figure out what their tendencies are.
Yeah.
No,
which I'm sure everyone's doing with me too.
Yeah.
Like people be like,
it works both ways.
Exactly.
100%. 100%. No, I love it. Now, do you ever feel guilt, like when it's business versus family?
There's times, definitely for sure. There's times, like I was just thinking like the other the other day, like how we, something simple as like we could be on a camping trip, and I'm still answering my phone. Like I'm
Yep.
still, because I cannot answer my phone, right?
I
So like
know.
I do give family time, but it's like I can't say, oh, I'm going camping, Friday to Monday or Sunday. I'm not going to answer my phone because I don't answer my phone. There's
Something could fall through, or
something could fall through.
opportunities could
Like
happen.
there's,
Yep.
so like those are the things where I'm like kind of, I was just talking to someone the other day, like I don't have a 9 to 5 where I can just come home, leave everything at work, come home and be done.
Right.
So
That's tough.
that is very
People,
tough.
I don't think people realize the adjustment to that.
Mhm.
Like I can just speak personally. Like, my wife has a 9 to 5. So when she's done, she's done.
She's done.
And there'll be times where we'll argue a little bit. She's like, what do you, I'm like, I'm not off.
Exactly.
Like, it's great that you're off, but I'm not off.
Yeah.
I don't clock out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's always going to be where we butt heads sometimes. But, and you know what? I look at it as, oh, it's pretty cool. Like, she actually wants to spend time with me. You know what I mean? It comes from a good place, right? But it's very hard to make that adjustment. Now, guess what? On the other end, when she gets up at 4 a.m. to work, I'm snoozing away because I don't. So she most likely like this change spots. So it does work a little bit to my advantage.
It kind of
balances out.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it really, really is tough.
And to piggyback on what you were saying, it is tough. But I have to remind myself and go back to that place where like this is what I prayed for.
Yep.
And I have to take the good with the not so good.
Yes.
Right. And like I always like when Lily's like, you're always on the phone, but we get to do like you get to have the things that you have.
Yes.
You get to live, your delight because I'm running a business, so like I kind of have to put that in perspective.
Oh yeah.
Or like you're always on your phone because I'm working. Or like on the flip side of it, when Javier's off on a Tuesday, like we can go have lunch. We can go do something. We can go do something because I pretty much like run my own hours. If I don't have an appointment.
That lunch thing is so important because that happened to us where when we got used to, because she'll work a lot. She has a funky schedule to where she'll get done early on Fridays. So our Fridays were our lunch date.
Nice.
And then I jumped back in for a really small segment of time in the corporate America to see how it will work. And she's like, our Fridays are gone. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, it kind of sucks, doesn't it? And now I'm back to that. So, but the funny thing is, I want to tell everybody out there because I loved it what you just said. Because my wife and my kid like, you're always on your phone. But when I'm on the phone, I'm working.
Yes.
I'm not looking at Instagram reels.
Yes.
Okay. Like, I just had to say that. But like, seriously, like I think a lot of people don't understand it. Like I can look and I'm looking at reel, but guess what? I'm learning something from the reel that I'm watching. I'm looking at tendencies by people that are my colleagues or potential clients or or how can I run my business like that? We always have a business mindset.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. I love that you said that because we're always working. It's not like I can get on my phone and I mean, I do give myself some scroll time and all that,
you have to.
But when my phone, like I open the screen, it's because I'm doing something.
Yes.
It's not because I'm just sitting there mindlessly like scrolling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I used to love when I was really deep into like sports betting. Like it's sports. I'm like, but I'm betting and I'm getting paid for it.
Right.
So like it is work.
Yeah, exactly.
It really wasn't. But I could at least I could shade it through work a little bit.
That way.
So speaking of that, I called you the content queen.
Oh boy.
All right. Listen, I am going to be honest. Like I remember when we were talking.
Up my game now.
Well, no, you were like, you had all these different ideas of things going on. And we were talking, I'm like, maybe you just like concentrate on this and do this and do that. And then you just blew it out of the water. Like, I love it. And what I love is you're bringing not only the business, but like I watch you with your daughter in coffee shops. I watch, like, I'm like, now your daughter is doing it with you, which I think is unbelievable. Like, I love that. Like, I don't know if you watch, if you're big sports, but if you know the guy E-Rock for the Eagles, you might have seen him on social media. Awesome dude. He's a big content creator for the Eagles. And it reminds me of you because now his son, he's making the content with him. And I'm like, this is and I see what you do. So I got to give you props for that. And when did you realize that content was your advantage? Because it is, right? Not everybody's doing it. They should be.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Right.
It started, I can tell you when it started. It started not this past February, but February of 2025.
Okay.
Right. So I went out to Vegas.
Okay.
For our Kel Williams family reunion. It's they had keynote speakers. It was great. And they do this every year. And so my son, who's also he's self-employed, has his own businesses.
Okay. Awesome.
I came back and he was like, how was your event? Because he, would go to events with what he's doing. So he understands.
Yep.
And at the time he was only 20.
Okay.
Yeah, about 20. And he says to me, what did you learn in your event? How was it? And I, went over, I was like, there was a lot of social media stuff. And he said something to me that was what amplified like the whole social media. Like I was active in social media.
You were in it. You were doing things,
but it was kind of
wasn't structured.
No,
it wasn't.
It was kind of exactly. So then he says to me, how many times do you post a day? And I think at the time I was posting maybe 1, 2 reels a week or something, like nothing crazy. It was, and he says, you should start doing 10 a day. He said 10.
Wow.
My brain was like, wait, I'm not a content creator.
Yep.
I'm a realtor. Like
yep.
And he said to me, and I was like, you know what? How about this? 10 is too extreme. I said, I'm going to start with 3 to 4 a day.
Which I think that's a good number.
That's like crazy.
That's a really good number.
From like 1 to 2 a week.
Right.
And I'm like, now I'm doing.
You're tripling it up every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But then I also follow Gary V.
Me too. Amazing.
Like
if somebody doesn't get you energized, that dude will get you energized.
Yeah, he's like, when he talks, I'm like, okay, I'm
doing it.
What
I love about it is, like I don't feel old because I'm like, this dude's just like me. He's not a young kid telling me what he's an older guy.
He's from Jersey, so like he gets it.
Yep.
And he was actually I went in February and he was actually one of the social media like
really?
talks. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And he was like, but he's on a different level.
Oh,
he would post 366 times a day.
It's insane.
But he has like social media. Like this is his life, right? He has people that, do it for him. But to go back to your question, that was my starting point. And then I told my assistant, I said, this is your game plan. This is what you're going to be doing every single day. And we have, like you said, it's structured. And if you go onto my page, like I structure my page, you go onto my page, you get me. Yep. You get all of it. You get the real, the raw, like you get all the things. I'm me, like you were saying, and you're going to get the true me. Yep. And if you don't resonate with it, then I love to work with people that are like me.
Yep.
I work with anyone, but when we're very similar in many ways, I love that. Like that's my jam. So I share all the things that I love.
I love that you said, because I'm a firm believer that you may have a business page, you may have this page, but when you're following me, you're seeing who I am. And whether it's in sports content, whether it's in PR, whether it's in media, whether it's with family, like that's who I am. It was funny. I took I had one guy laughing at me, but it's just who I am. I'm meeting at a Nissan dealership with one of the executives, and I walked in and he's like, bro, you ain't dressed up? Nope. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, this is who I am. What do I need to be dressed up for? So if I'm dressed up, does that mean that I'm going to be better?
Right.
Like, this is just a meeting. Like, yeah, obviously I go to a conference. I'm not going to walk in with sweats and a hoodie. I get that. But me and him are just having a conversation. I want him to know who I am.
Right.
And if he goes and follows, I could be like, is it this guy or this guy? They don't correlate. No, I don't want, I never want that. So I love that. I love that. So
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
So
yeah.
true. But you really amplify. I told you that. And I love it. I do. Because it's calculated.
Mm.
Because you're telling a story with everything that you do. And now I would say when you go to clients and you talk, it's going to be like they're going to understand what your life is all about, that you're a family first person, that you're a person of faith, that you have a routine. So there's no questions. And I've always said it to my kids, leave everything on it, like don't leave any questions out there. It's the easiest life to live when you don't have to answer any questions. So what I want to ask you though is what, as far as bringing in business, have you seen that content that you're doing not only is giving you notoriety, but bring you in business as well? That's when you're doing it right.
It's to the point where they come to me and they're like set, like they're just like, we want to work with you. We love everything that you do. They know me.
Yep.
They know my family, like, and we have a connection. And that right there, like there was a question that you had or asked, and it was like, kind of, I don't know exactly, but it was something about like conversion and maybe I'm going ahead of myself.
You're fine. It's actually the next one. Are you creating for attention or conversion? See, you read my notes.
I memorized your notes.
Oh, I love it. Yes, people. This is yes. I don't mess around. This is legit. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that like really stood out to me because my social media is built off of building relationships.
Yes.
Building a relationship. I want to build a relationship with you. I'm not just the one that's going to help sell or, sell your home or help you buy a home. Like you have me as your realtor for life. Like that connection to me is more than just,
it's more than just a paycheck. Yeah. That's a better word. Yep.
Because this real estate has opened so many opportunities, so many beautiful people that I've met, so many people that have become friends. Like, and that's how I treat my social media. Like it's a connection. We're connecting. Yep. And that's what I love that we get to do on social media if we use it, correctly, right?
If we use it the way we should.
Exactly.
That's the way I say.
Exactly.
It's a great thing. Like I used to say, like with Facebook, I'm like, listen, when Facebook is used the way it was made, that when you have relatives overseas or in different countries or different states, and they can see your kids grow, that's what it's about. It's not about these ads and stuff like that. I get it's a part. Trust me, I understand. Right. But it's really getting to the point where sometimes I hate even being on there, but I have to be. It's like, it's such a hard concept. Everyone's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I have to be on there, but I can't stand that. I just want to go on, like everything's, and everybody's trying to do the same thing and trying to make the same ads. And like, people be different. That's all I got to say. Please be different. Yes, yes. But no, I love that. It's great that because you're speaking to a lot of people who watch this, and it's like, you are converting, like you're converting by being you.
Yeah, like
that's the best thing.
It's you like we were talking in the beginning. People are coming to my page and they're seeing, like, people are following me before they even know, like, and I love that because someone will come reach out to me and say, I've been following you for so many years. We've never met, but I need, can you please help sell my grandma's house or something like that? Like it just, and I love that. Like, I love that. And like you were saying, because they can see an ad for, whatever agent, but like, do they really know? Like, because
it's all scripted.
Exactly.
I don't want to sound like an ass, but it's true. It's all scripted, man.
And when you work with me, this is what you're getting. Like you're getting all of me. You're not getting, so yeah.
But that's how, it's how business is supposed to be. I've taught my kids, it's relationships over money. Like, just you create relationships. Listen, money's going to come and go, honestly. And if you if you're chasing money all the time, you're going to live a miserable life.
And I think that goes back to like when you were saying, real estate and how like it's hard when and we talked about this when don't have when you are not attached to the outcome, it goes so much smoother,
Yep.
right? So like we were talking about, like you can be in a transaction for 45, plus days, 60 days, and at the 10th hour, like everybody, the seller decides he doesn't want to sell or whatever the case may be. The transaction now is dead, and you're like, what just happened? And you don't get paid, right? But what did you learn through the process? I go back to like I was, serving in any way, like just coming from that, it it you get it tenfold. Like that transaction didn't work out, but God has something so much bigger.
There's something else, and you did get, even though it's on a monetary value, you did get value out of it because now you figured out, okay, now I know what to look for next time. Or maybe it was something that happened on their end and I can kind of scope out that this doesn't happen again, right?
And also too, when you attach yourself to the outcome and when you only have just that right there is going to mess you all up, right? Because you're living for that. And you're like, because you have other things. So when you don't have that pressure, you work so much better.
Oh.
You work so much better.
I hate working under pressure.
Yeah.
When I'm tense and I'm stressed, I don't do well.
No.
I've always been like that. Yeah. But if you just let me roll and let me go, I'm good. I don't have any issues whatsoever. I really don't. Now, is there any, would you say, platforms that work the best for you?
That's a good question. So
I know you're all over.
Yeah. I post literally, like you said, all over. But for me, my go-to is Facebook and Instagram, and they're almost like hand in hand. Like, so it's hard. I want to say if I had to choose, it would probably say Facebook. I'm think, old.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know what? Our generation, I'm telling you, like, that's the thing. It's like, it's funny because I work with car dealerships, and you can tell the car dealership that has I'm going to say the older generation, all the business comes from Facebook. But when you go to a different lot that's like the younger dealer, like, it's all TikTok.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Right? Yep. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I say something they're like, dude, I'm not going on TikTok. Yeah. Like, you have to understand where your audience is going to be. You know what I mean? And I do. I think Facebook. Now, I do think, and we were talking about this off air, because let's face it, there are a million agents. So how do you ever kind of just say to myself, as you're building out your plan, how I'm going to separate myself from everything? Or I'm just being me.
I'm just being
me. And that's going to be the separating point.
Exactly.
I like that.
No one's going to work as hard as I am for you. So like I already
stand on it. I like that.
Exactly.
I
so
love
like,
it.
I that's not even a question.
I love that. So, all right, we're gonna have a little fun in a minute as we wind us down. I'll do a little. You didn't see this part. It's a rapid fire section, which I love. It's.
I should prepare myself.
Yeah, it's like 7 questions, and it's like hit or miss, right? And then we'll kind of get into kind of like the closing part of when you're speaking to fellow agents coming in and business people. So you ready to do some rapid fire?
Sure.
All right. First deal or biggest deal? What was your favorite? If you got to pick one, biggest deal you ever made or your first deal?
I'm going to have to say my biggest deal.
Okay.
And the reason why, because she became such a good friend.
There you go.
And that to me was like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. One tool you can't live without. And you do a lot.
My phone?
We talked about that. Well, it's true, right? It's true.
It's a tool.
I love it. Who would be your dream client? If you could pick anybody.
Wow. Who would be my dream? It's funny you ask, and I'm gonna have to say. So today, my husband and I, we were at a doctor's office, and there was a magazine on the table, and it was Oprah.
Really?
And I was like, I would love to be like
check
in
that
her
out.
space. and you asked this question.
Wow. What you know what? I'll tell you, man. Not many people live like Oprah.
Listen, I wish I could sell Oprah a house.
Wow. Well, that'd be a nice payday too, by the way.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. I love it. What would you say your biggest pet peeve is in the real estate industry?
Ugh.
There's
many. There's many. I would probably have to say agents not answering their phone.
Really?
Oh, that drives me nuts.
I don't understand that.
That drives me. I'm like, how? If I'm about to write an offer for a client, I want to talk to the agent on the other side to see how we can structure this. Some agents will not answer their calls. All right, I'll text. No response. I'm like, like you said, I don't get it. And listen, granted, maybe you're not available within the next couple hours, but like some agents
they just ghost completely,
not even call back, text back, or if the next day, that's perfectly fine, but some will not.
Wow. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I never understood that.
They would literally, or like if you're in a transaction, literally like ghost. Like, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Aren't you both trying to do the same thing?
Listen, I
see, now that's the stuff that would infuriate me. I can't, it's hard for me to, that's like, I have a radio, you see the Jigsaw name up there? The Jigsaw would have to come out with that. I would lose my shit.
So going back to that, like it's a lot of times it gets very, agents will get their emotions.
Okay.
Caught up in like, this is not about you. This is about your clients.
Right. Exactly.
So that's one of my pet peeves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard that before.
It's like, I'll present something to the agent and say, this is what my client, and the agent right away will like get all like, up against the wall. And I'm like, you didn't even present it to your client. Why are you getting so like presented to your client?
Right.
And this is not about you. This is about our clients. It's hard to, yeah.
Oh, that's got to be tough. That's got to be tough. Yeah. That's got to be tough. One word to describe your business mindset.
Ooh, one word to describe my busy or
you might have just answered
busy. What was the question?
One word to describe your business mindset.
I would have to say determined.
I like that. I think that that is like that's the best description of you, I think. After everything you've said, like this whole interview was all about, you talked about resilience, determination. Like I like it. Definitely. All right. Now I know last one. If I had to pull out your phone right now and pull up Spotify, what's the first 3 songs are going to be on that playlist?
Oh,
what
that's a good one.
What would you say? Or even in your mind would say because I know you do a lot of exercising, like what's those 3 that get you going for the day?
It would probably be like these are the songs that I'm like thinking. It would probably be something like with Madonna, one of her like 80s.
Okay.
Like a prayer.
Like a prayer, express yourself,
yes.
Little Vogue.
Yes. Something with Biggie.
Oh,
like just like the old, like the old New York.
School.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Late 90s.
That kids don't know music nowadays.
No, that's like if I want to get into like
yes. I love it.
And the third would probably have to be that's a good one. I kind of feel like I should check.
That's all right. Listen, you could go with 2. It's all good.
Yeah, something kind of like that's gonna get me like up and moving, like give me some like positive. It would probably be something like I was just listening to keeps running Bruno Mars.
Oh, okay.
I might just like that or something.
Yeah,
I probably said the wrong, but something that's gonna get me like pumped and
I'm like, it's funny because I think like I just like all kinds of genres.
Same.
You know, everybody like, what do you, I'm like, yo, if you went through my playlist, you'd be like, whose playlist
Yes,
is this?
yes.
I mean, I could go like old school, like Randy Travis country, and then go into Motown, and then go to Kid Rock, and then go to Jay-Z, and then
And
go to
then-
Little Kim. Like I
and
could be
Taylor
all
Swift,
over it.
and
Right. And they're like, what?
I'm the same
I
way.
just like music.
Yeah.
I just like music. And
yeah.
and there's definitely those tunes where you're driving that get you going.
Oh yeah, especially like if I'm driving, I do a lot of like audibles and podcasts.
Yep.
But like if I just want my brain to just kind of like relax,
Yes.
I will put Spotify and literally like all the, like you said, all the music different. There's no like,
there's got to be like, if I would get these two songs for me, like for me it's like if I could listen to Mr. Jones from Counting Crows,
okay.
or I'll listen to Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. And I don't know what it is about those words. And then maybe Girl on Fire with Alicia
like
Keys.
Songs.
Oh, I do. Like girl, like I am all like I had these set songs that I need to listen to and rock out to. Before we close out, I want to touch on one other thing, because you do a lot of events. Like for the community. And I think that's important. So what's made you start to do that?
I just love people.
Like you did something for Santa.
Yes.
You're doing something.
I'm doing
pictures
something
at Tamanin next week at Tamanin Park.
Yep.
Right. See, I follow.
Like, yeah,
I follow.
I see. I just love being around people. Like, and this is like the perfect time because now we're, winter, we're entering spring, and just getting people together. So that's what I just love. I just love getting people together. I get to see my clients. I get to see the community. I live in the community. I want to see more of these things. So it just, I do about 3 to 4 a year, big events a year.
And these are events that anybody can come to.
Anybody can come to.
You register and.
Yep, you register. It's open. It's free. It's out of my, I do have sponsors that help out. So this is complete. It's not, I work for Keller Williams, but this is something solely that I provide. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, thank you so
pretty
much.
Cool,
and
man.
Like, I love doing these. And my family helps.
Yeah, I see. I mean, you and your daughter are doing the promos for it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I saw it. It's great. I love it. I love
that she still is, wanting to do that.
She wants to do that.
Yeah.
You gotta, oh man. Just
hold on to that.
Keep that reined in.
I know. I'm trying.
You know what though? I will say this. I know people say it a lot, but I do think if you bring them up a specific way,
right?
And I'm not saying like morals or anything, just like keeping them close and involved. I should say
exactly.
You have a better chance of them not just festering away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So no, I agree. So I want to close off on this last question. For someone trying to break into real estate right now, what would you say is the things they need to hear? I come to you and I'm like, Daisy, listen, I'll do it this way. I'm 26, 27 years old. I got a full-time IT job. I think AI is going to take it. I'm going to flip careers. I'm going to quit my full-time job. I'm going to go all in on real estate. What are you going to tell me?
I would probably say to you, don't quit your job. Don't quit your full-time job unless you have reserves. I remember when I first started, my mentors, did not have my license yet. And I remember her saying, like, at least have like $3,000. And I want to say she was wrong.
Today, that's probably like $13,000.
Because actually she said $3,000 just to start your business. That's not even including to like.
That's not to live. That's just to start your business.
No. Sorry, let me rephrase that.
Okay,
correct.
That makes sense.
It was $3,000 for just to start the business. So I would say have reserves for like 6 months, because you're not going to get, and listen, everybody's different. People will come into real estate and like their, family members, like they already have that already set up. So like, definitely, I didn't have that. So like, but I also had support. Having the support system is crucial, because I see, and it's just like hard to run a business when you don't have that support system.
Yep.
If you're, have a spouse and kids. So I would say definitely do your research and really ask yourself, like, again, if you're coming into this full time, like you're going to have to treat it like a business from day one. and follow those people that are modeling those, that lifestyle. And just
the OGs.
exactly, and get into everything and anything. But I would probably say, like, it all depends, like what, their living situation, if they're married. But I would and if how hungry they are too. So the person, I feel like it has a lot to do with, because you can see someone and be like, and they're saying, I want to get into real estate, and you're probably like, oh, I don't know, I would probably,
Right.
But I would say really research, don't quit your job just yet.
Yeah, I like that, because no matter real estate or not, I've always preached that always have something before you jump into something else.
Yes.
Right. You need you said it, safety net. Give me a little bit of a safety net. Right. And I think that's extremely important. It really is. It really is. Well, Daisy, thanks so much, man. This was awesome.
This was fun.
I mean, I really appreciate it. Daisy Pietri. And again, obviously, you can find her on Instagram. You can find her on Facebook. All her information will be locked into the description. And like I always say, this is what business is. This is what Built for Business is all about, right? It's the real stories, the real lessons, what it actually takes to build something that lasts. And you're doing that right now. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And who knows, maybe a year down the road when you own your own brokerage one day, you'll be back on.
That I think I will probably, that is where I laid down. Yeah, no.
You're good. You're good.
I'm good.
That's a whole nother set of circumstances.
Yeah,
we don't want that.
No.
Well, I always say, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you back here next time.
Yeah.